What if someone gave you a church, an ancient church full of relics and ghosts and the history of people long gone? Would you keep it to yourself, protect it by hiding it from others, or would you share it? A visitor to Cumberland Island once said that the park was a cathedral, and like any church, the park is open to all, providing sanctuary and beauty and a chance for reflection and peace.
Main thing I would tell the visitors is to enjoy the quiet and listen to the quiet.
I usually tell people to stop at some point and just take in this place. There's just a little bit of something for everybody here. And I tell, after getting off the ferry and getting all your gear, and I tell everybody just to kind of slow down and take it all in, because this really is this is a pretty magical place.
It's important to understand, though, that peaceful isn't the same as unchanging. The island's entire history is one of struggle and survival. Barrier islands constantly shift, grow, and diminish as tides, currents, and storms change their shape on a human timescale. Even, or maybe especially, a national park isn't immune from the laws of nature, and nature is constantly eroding and accreting the shoreline. That change continues across the island, from the beach and primary dune on the ocean to the rich marshland and tidal creeks on the west side of the island. Standing at the edge of the Atlantic, you can feel small and alone, but a short walk to the west is a reminder of how tenacious and entangled life can be. From the railroad vine and sea oats that anchor the primary dunes, through the wax myrtle and saw palmetto that help solidify the shifting sand behind the beach, all the way until you enter the maritime forest, you're seeing a cross-section of struggle and survival literally built on shifting sands. A single strong storm can wash away the primary dune, covering or killing the plants that create habitat just behind it. But life is persistent, and island time is slow, and the edge of the ocean has always been a home for someone.
The forest is very magical to me because you have these outstretched branches with the live oaks, Spanish moss hanging off of them, amazing vines going from one branch to another. And I think just the peacefulness that you have, it's definitely something that once you get it in your blood, you'll go back to visit again.
The maritime forest was a blessing for the first Americans, the Timucuan Indians who fished and hunted the island for more than 1,700 years before the Europeans arrived. What followed was a history with Spanish and English colonization, the War of 1812, the antebellum cotton boom, then the Civil War and the Gilded Age, all as mile markers. Scattered across the island are remnants of that cultural history. The chimneys still stand in a row on the Stafford plantation, like the gravestones of slave cabins from a time when cotton was king on Cumberland Island, while the nearby tabby-walled graveyard still shelters the Stafford family. Further north on the island, the settlement is testament to an African-American community, some of them slaves freed from the Stafford plantation during the Civil War, that still has strong modern ties to American politics.
I never knew about the history here, and there's so much history. It goes from the enslaved people to the Oglethorpes, to the rich and famous.
Plum Orchard Mansion, one of several island homes built for the Carnegie family at the height of the Gilded Age, is a stunning counterpoint to the relative poverty of the settlement or the punishing clearing and farming of the Stafford cotton fields. But if the laws of nature are strictly enforced on the beach and forest, then the remnants of the cultural history aren't exempt either.
The Dungeness ruins in particular, those is a huge ruins, but you look inside and it's just growing out of trees and everything, and you kind of see how impermanent our existence is here. And you look and you drive down the road, or you ride your bike down and you see a ruin there and a fallen down building, and you see just nature overcoming it, and you kind of realize how impermanent we are here, and it makes you appreciate the time, and it brings you back to the present moment a little bit better. What I find the most special about it is its sense of wildness. And even though it's got a long history of human habitation and the handprint of humanity is on the island, you can see how the nature and the wild is starting to creep back in and take that over.
When Cumberland Island became a national seashore in October of 1972, the struggle for preservation didn't end. Some of the properties on the island remain in private hands, but will eventually become a part of the park. Even the designation of more than 9,800 acres of wilderness requires a careful and constant balancing of park use and protection as the Park Service looks ahead at issues such as climate change and a rising sea level.
If you can imagine going out on Cumberland Island, you go out on the beach, we only have 300 people max a day. So you figure, you walk out on the beach and before you know it, you look out and there's nothing there, nobody there. It's like you're out there by yourself.
Like all of our lives, Cumberland Island is growing and eroding and changing over time, even while we stand still and watch it all around us. Everything is changing, but Cumberland Island can teach you to feel at ease with the change. Here, the journey is the destination. It's a gift to you, and it's yours to share.
Remember your peace and solitude that you got here. This is a special place, and there's a lot of other places, I think, but when you have Cumberland and you get that in your heart, you have a peace always there. And even if you're not there, the piece of that is there. And so I think you can still take a little piece of that home with you no matter what.
This island has a way of casting a spell on people that live here and that have worked here over the years. And the thing that everybody has is the memories. You know, people build memories at this place, and they intend to keep coming back. And that's the thing that's pretty special.